So without further ado, all of the rules out of the way, $500 is on the line, 12 questions, all courtesy from you guys. So let's play today's game. Q1, what is the capital of Canada? Is it Toronto, Montreal, or Ottawa? Kicking it off with some Canadian trivia tonight. This one comes from Custer Ann. Do you live in Canada, Ann? Is it acting like fall up there? Because it's 80 degrees here and I'm pretty upset about it. Anyways, back to the questions. Canada's capital is Ottawa. Looks like most of you know our neighbor to the north. That wasn't too tough to kick us off, although several of you went for Toronto. Close, also found in Ontario, but it isn't the nation's capital. Moving along to Q2. What was the name of Paul McCartney's band after the Beatles split up? Was it Quarrymen, Wings, or the Dirty Mac? These are all connected to the Beatles in one way or another, but only one of these was the name of Paul's band after the group split in 1970. Truly the end of an era. Any Paul McCartney fans out there? Then you know this one. It's Paul McCartney and Wings. And just like that, one of two Beatles questions in the deck tonight. Looks like quite a few of you are fans of this bunch, 1,868 of you taking the ride to Q3. Which country is the boy band BTS from? South Korea, Japan, or India? Maybe you love their music, maybe you only know their name from recent pop culture articles, or maybe this is the first you've heard of them. In that case, look them up on Spotify. They are a big name in pop right now and made up of 7 friends. BTS is from South Korea and is part of the ever popular and growing K-pop scene. They've been climbing the ranks in the music scene. These guys are certainly a group to look out for, and it looks like 1,684 of you already have them on your radar. Let's get presidential with Q4. Who held the roles of vice president and president without having been elected to either office? Was it George Washington, William McKinley, or Gerald Ford? Yes, this is possible for this scenario to occur, but it is rare. So rare, in fact, this man is the only person that it has ever happened to. I'm talking about the 38th president of the USA, Gerald Ford. He became vice president and president thanks to the 25th Amendment, and it really is such a wild story. He once said, "Life plays some funny tricks on people," and that is one heck of a twist in life. 1,361 of you. Let's go on and talk about cats, shall we? Question number 5. Cats with which of the following coat patterns are usually female? Orange tabbies, calicos, or both? It's because of the chromosome that this trait is carried on. It's possible for males to have this pattern, but very rare because this pattern can only display because of the 2 X chromosomes that allow for both colors to show through. That's because most calico cats are female, and male calicos can only happen in the case of a genetic abnormality. They would need to have 2 X chromosomes that display each color and a Y chromosome. So if you ever wondered why this rarity occurs, now you know. Even more rare trivia for you guys to find out. But you guys paid attention in genetics. Let's talk about sports. Q6. Which number does New York Knicks player Ron Baker wear? Is it 31, 14, or 5? Sports ball, either you love it or you hate it. So this one is for all my basketball fans in the house tonight. Hopefully you get this right and then you'll be halfway to the money. Ron Baker's number is 31. And we have 688 of you still going strong on the courts. Now let's talk about SNL. Who doesn't love that show? It's time for question number 7. The very first episode of NBC's Saturday Night Live was hosted by George Carlin, Paul Simon, or Chevy Chase. Season 1, Episode 1 of this iconic show, who was the host? Its 43rd anniversary was yesterday. The year was 1975. The musical guests were Billy Preston and Janice Ian, and the host, of course, George Carlin. And thus, SNL was born, making us laugh ever since, and 673 of you remember way back. TV has changed a lot since these days, but they've managed to keep it alive so long and so good all these years that it's quite an accomplishment. We've covered TV. Now let's move to some festival trivia. Not music festivals, though. Monkey festivals. What? Question number 8. Which nation hosts an annual monkey buffet festival? Is it Malaysia, Thailand, or India? Don't freak out. Nobody freak. Nobody eats any of the monkeys. It's not a buffet of monkeys. It's for the monkeys. Each year, tons of food is laid out for thousands of monkeys to come chow down on what has become quite a spectacle in the nation of Thailand. These monkeys get to dine on towers of fruits and veggies against a backdrop of ancient temples. Now that sounds like a sight to behold and something that I think is just so flippin' cute. 589 of you must have that on your bucket list. You got that right, and you are moving on to Q9. Heinrich Gessler helped contribute to the creation of vacuum cleaners, neon lights, or air conditioning, all essentials in my book. He created something that went on to aid in the creation in one of these items, but which one is it? Do you know it, or is this a guess? He created the Gessler tube, which demonstrated the principles of electrical glow discharge, which then evolved into neon lights down the roads. And fun fact, did you know that true neon signs are a reddish orange? Any other color produced using other gases, such as xenon for blue and helium for pinkish orange lights. Crazy stuff. 357 of you, though, still going strong as we head to double digits. Q10. What was the first Beatles song to win a Grammy for Song of the Year? I told you that the Beatles would come back in on this deck. Was it I Want to Hold Your Hand, Help, or Michelle? I mean, are any of you surprised that the Beatles have won Song of the Year? I'd be shocked if they didn't. They were a huge imprint on music and are still insanely popular today. And their first Song of the Year, however, they won a Grammy for was Michelle. And it looks like 297 of you don't need any help just yet. Get it? Help, I need somebody. All right, okay, we're moving on to Q11. Too many Beatles puns for me. Alrighty, here is your free clue for today. I hope you guys were paying attention and listening on my Instagram Live, because this is getting you to the money question. Number 11, what do Babe Ruth, Tom Seaver, and Sparky Anderson have in common? Is it their first name, being Southpaws, or attending the same high school? All legends in baseball. I think there was one little detail that tied them together, though. Can you think of it? Have a guess if you aren't quite sure. This one is tough after all, which is why we gave it away. All three of them were named George. They have the same first name. Their names are George Herman Ruth Jr., George Thomas Seaver, and George Lee Anderson, respectfully. Crazy, right? But not as crazy is the fact that we have 284 of you still hanging on as we move to the money question, the final question. Are you ready? Let's go. Q12. Which state had a parasitic state flower until 2004? Was it Kansas, Nebraska, or Oklahoma? I guess the backlash they faced for this choice was enough for them to just go ahead and completely swap it out. The state flower before 2004 was mistletoe, you know, like the Christmas plant. And apparently they're actually bad news. So now their official state flower is a rose, specifically the Oklahoma rose. So Oklahoma is the winning answer for tonight. And just like that, 273 of you are splitting the $500 cash prize. Congratulations, you guys are the winner today. But if you didn't quite make it, no worries. Sunday, you have a chance to win it all because it's Survivor Sunday, where one winner will take home the entire cash prize. Until then, don't forget to follow all your favorite Q Trivia hosts on Instagram and Twitter, and the Q Trivia on all social media platforms as well. Thank you so much once again to our Qsters for today's deck. You all have some awesome trivia, so keep them coming to Liz, and she will hook you up hopefully in the next few weeks. Until then, I will see you guys soon. Have a wonderful weekend and be kind. Bye, y'all.